All right, it's going to be a 15-minute video on drawing a set of stairs in DESIGNCAD 3D Max version 2019. Let's see. Okay, so let's create an existing landing. Let's see, 100 and height should be around 100 and somewhere around 121. And let's see, so right off the bat, let's go first level, H. So, okay, you saw I clicked that, and then I just picked a random spot. So it looks like it actually came out to really close to 10,0. This is funny because I wasn't really trying to, but let's see, I just pressed V and then hit the apostrophe, which is right next to the enter key, and relative to the origin, 0,0, enter, and it creates a point right there. And I could have done that there. Let's do that, right? Let's go create that, apostrophe, 0,0, enter, and it creates, that's the 0,0. Let's say you had something drawn already, like Control Z, Control Z, 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 Y, Y. Let's say we wanted to move that to, we could go like this, enter, point relative to to the origin, right? It's going to move, let's see, boom, like that. And then we have, it's not 0,0, enter, origin, 0,0, should go to the origin, there you go. Or you could go like this, let's say if it was there and you wanted to put it origin, yeah, that's your origin button right there. And right click, and you got that, moves it to the origin. So I'm going to try to hit as many commands as I can in 15 minutes. So let's go, the next step would be, okay, let's say the bottom here, the landing, H is level, which is never is really, but the example we're going to do, that's how they teach it in school, will be the simplest. Let's go to V, and then get rid of that H, point relative, which is the apostrophe, and then we're going to go to last point relative to the last point that was there. You right clicked on that point, and then X is 11, tab, -7, so it's going to go in the X direction, 11, Y direction, -7. So it's going to go over 11 and down 7. So it's going to create a line that's like that, and hit enter. Actually, that's fine, enter. And then so what we can do is we can hit V and then H. And I don't like that. I want to go like this, H, and then hit K. It'll snap to the nearest line, and then right click on the last point there. So now if we zoom in a little bit and hit right click, enter, it'll start cycling through as it was drawn. So that was the first, second, and then the third one it was drawn. And let's see, draw, array. I don't care if I'm gonna make, I don't need 30, but let's call it, we know it's going to be, let's call it 25. It's going to be way more than what we need. And when that row is 1, it'll snap diagonally. And then since that's your handle, boom, it'll populate. Like I said, we got plenty more than what we need, but the upside is, since this is a drawing program, you can doesn't take any effort to do that. So let's say, so the last riser is going to be there, but we kind of need the riser off of that tread to scale it, and I'll show you why. Let's go delete that, and okay, so here we go. So we know this is 7, right? And change that text format. That's fine. Let's leave it in that, but we only need what, 2 decimal places, 100th of an inch, right? Or okay, 3. Save, close, and then we have 7. We know it's exactly 7. However, this, if we were to go scale this down and drop this point down to here, it would be over 7. So we're going to stay within the legal limit of that restriction that we have right there. Maximum height, right? Maximum riser height is 7. So, but before we do that, okay, let's hit B. We'll turn that all into one entity. Control Z. So that's all separate entities, right? Control Y. And we're going to go to point select mode, and I'm going to right click here and there. And that makes it so that when we scale it, it'll be, that's where we want the scale to land. You could have, in this case, you could have the landing buried in there with Control Z. We could go either way. And you can snap it to here or K, anywhere, and there it is. And that's how you lay it out, man. It's going to give you the thing real quick. That's your rise, 6 3/4 plus a 64th, and 06, 03, that's even less than a 64th, 06, 25, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. So that's how you do it on level ground. So we're at 5 minutes. So let's do this. Let's get rid of, we don't really need to get rid of it. Let's get rid of it because it's so easy, right? That wasn't hard. So let's do this. V, let's say you came over here, let's say came over here 250 inches, right? Y, X, 200, really damn close, man. So let's say that's your opening, right? There was a, let's say there's a H, little planter here or something, right? And that's your the patio area that you're doing. The stairs are going to come in here and land somewhere down in here. Yeah, so let's say you measure over here and point apostrophe tab -4.5 inches, 0.5, or you could go -4 plus open parentheses 5 divided by 1/2, 1 divided by 2, close parentheses, and that'll give you the same result. So you can do the math right in there. Hit enter, and then let's hit this to point select mode so we can move it to that. Let's say that's what you've calculated your slope is straight. You know, it could be curved, but for this example, it's straight. So we're going to basically do the same thing, right? V, point relative, tab, -7, enter, and then apostrophe 11, enter, and that's our tread. And you could go like this, V, point relative, -1, enter, right? And then that's your line, and then you can go in here, hit the point select mode. Well, it already was on point select mode. You could do that, and that's your 1-inch toe out, Control Z. Or you can go like this, select that, and then comma, period, which locks it in on that point, and then left cursor arrow 1, insert. And the reason why that works is because your options go to cursor. 1 is the large step with which is your arrow, and then the small step would be shift plus the arrow would be 1/8 of an inch. That's because it's the way it's set up, because you set it up that way. So now what you're going to do is you're going to right click, and that makes the control handle. If you wanted 2 control handles, you click that and that, and then you have 2, right? You could lay it on any way you want. So let's go like this, Control H, we only need 1, but it doesn't matter. So there's your tread. So draw array, 25 works, we know it's more than what we need. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to select these, delete those. Now we know that's 7, so we can move this one up, right? So we could delete that one. Go here, snap it to that, and then V, H, we'll turn it into ortho. K, we'll snap it to there, and that's what we want to snap this to that point, right? So that, let's see, so we're going to do the same thing we did before, select all of them with the fence, and then hit B, that turns them all into one entity. Now we're going to hit right click, and you could scale them in, you know, as separate entities, as long as they're together it would work, but there's no need. So now right here, I can't take this one and snap it to there because then it would shrink the treads. So I go back here just like we did before, left click on that, and then Z, and then right there. I should have got left that alone. I didn't. It ended up being selected. So now the rise here, hit Y is 6.888, and we should have 6.888 there. Oh, not there. All right. So that's how you get them all to match up real perfect and everything, and all of them are exactly the same all the way up to the top. All right. Control Z, 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 Z. Let's say Z, 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 Z. Let's say this thing was sloping opposite direction, roughly 2% up the other way. Right, the drain's over here underneath the stairs, and then you had right, you can't go, yeah, you can't scale this. Well, we don't know what this is yet, right? Let's do it again, because I don't think those are 7 anymore. But yeah, they are. So we Control Z back enough to those are just like the original. We did one less. Control Y. They're probably all one. Control Y. Control Y. 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 Oh, that won't work because I did something. So the Control Y stops working when you do one thing in the middle of it. So anyways, oh, I forgot to do it. Select them all. Hit actually just delete that one, and we're going to scale it up. So we're going to delete that one. Select it. B turns it all into one entity. Z for zoom. Left click into the zoom, and then point select mode. Left click, we know, and then zoom here. V, H, K, enter, and then select mode, handle selection mode, and then left click there, and then zoom again, right click, done, and then we end up with the same condition, right? We got exactly what we were looking for. Y, you could change this to X or freeform, and 6.971, I have the same thing all the way up. All right, that's how you lay out treads real fast. I know it was real fast, but trying to nail down a bunch of commands. It's 12 minutes CV. Let's say you have a rail, enter, and you want to check that. Well, let's do it automatically. Hit E for trim, and trim to this line. And then, you know, your handrail's got to go out. Tab, relative 12, enter, H. So that's level. I think it is, right? Height is 0, yeah. So let's connect that to that and go B. And let's say there's a top rail and a bottom. Let's say this is the bottom rail, right? We want to do the 5-inch sphere. So we go draw, circle. 3-point would be if you wanted to check it. Tangent, 3-point tangent would be if you wanted to check it. Let's say circle tangent to 3 lines. You could go boom, boom, just left click close. And then you could read the size of that, right? And it looks like 2 5/8. You're already bigger than the allowed circle, right? That's a 5.2, right? So architecture, just gems, aren't they? Anyway, so let's say it was V. Let's say it was a little smaller. Let's say that was your stair, right? And you wanted to move that to the 5. You would go draw, circle, tangent to 2 lines, and it asks you for the radius. Right here we already have 2.5. You could this one and this one, and that's the point there. So you would go V, right click to the center, J, A, enter, and then it's already set to 90s, and it'll go draw a line 90 degrees to that line here, the one that I was next to, and then get close and hit K, enter, so like this. Now we know that that's got to get moved plumb, right? Because you can't move it away. This would leave your area there. So you go right click V, H, just draw a line up there, and then hit E. It doesn't matter which side of the line you're on. And then you're going to take this, enter, enter, and it switches over to that one. And did we make this one line yet? Oh, I really screwed that up, didn't I? Forgot to change this one to. Should be looking something like that. Control Z, 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 Z. Right there. So I made a mistake when I scaled this. And I didn't select that. And yeah, I just picked it up at a random spot, right? Got rid of all these. So yeah, let's go back and do that again. Draw, circle, tangent to 2 points, to 2 lines. This one and this one. V, right click, J, A, enter. H, get rid of the H, 90 degrees to that line. Hit the K, enter, zoom, enter, zoom again, V, H, enter, E, trim, enter, enter, like that line finally, and go up there. That's how you would get the 5-inch sphere relative to some treads that were already built. No trial and error, just dials it in exactly right. I mean, that's the quick way to lay out stairs. Not draw stairs, but lay out stairs. So, like I said, that was moved up so that we could see that thing. So when you get it at 7-11 with the 1-inch toe out, you already know it's bigger than this 5-inch sphere is already bigger. I think that was actually, it was less than 7 inches, right? It's 9303. It's a 64th less than 7, and yeah, maybe you already know, but I think if you got the architect to do a 3-inch sphere, they might be cool with that 3/4 inch toe out. Let's see what that looks like. V. Let's just do this. Right click that. Point select mode, comma, period, shift, and right arrow, 1, 2, 3, 2, right? We're talking a quarter. Yeah, so it's a 3/4 inch toe out. Draw, let's see, make sure I don't lose this one. This is the one we're dealing with, right? Draw, circle, 3 points. Let's see what it ends up there. I bet you we're better. That's weird. That's the wrong one. Draw, circle, tangent to 3 points. I think that made it. Nope, still too big, right? So there you go. There's something to learn something every day. I've been doing stairs for a while. Maybe I knew that, forgot. That's it, man. So, pretty quick, a little tutorial on how to draw stairs and a few different conditions, and I went over 15 minutes. So I'm out.